Boker Tov, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Europe Days 2023. This is our 9th edition. Can I have the volume a little lower? Thank you. And I'd like to first thank the amazing production team that we have. Come on, we can say Amit and Lee and Romy. Good. And thank you to our wonderful sponsors, because without them, this would not have been possible. You can see their names on both sides. I feel like a stewardess. But please, big thank you to our sponsors. And yeah, it's a little exercise for the morning. It's good for you. And we have 40 speakers. 30 of them came especially from Europe, flew in to be with us here today. So let's give them a very warm welcome. Like, really. Now, you can identify the speakers. They have a red lanyard. Who's the speaker here? Raise your hands. Come on. Don't be shy. You can approach them throughout the day. They will be here most of the day. So feel free to reach out and talk to them. In addition to the speakers who flew in, we have several delegations who came in. So just to name a few, there's a delegation from Switzerland headed by Greater Zurich area. Anyone from Switzerland here? Thank you. Alexander here is one.
They are just on time.
Yeah, exactly. The Swiss are just on time. Then we have an Austrian delegation headed by Advantage Austria. So who's from Austria here? Raise a hand. Wow, respect. And we have a delegation headed by the Intertech Hub in Munich. And who's here from the Intertech Hub, Munich? Great. So all of you, very welcome, and thank you for being here. My journey into Europe started, why is the timer not working, please? Thank you. My journey into Europe started a little over 17 years ago, first as an entrepreneur, and then as an investor, and I'm doing both at capacity now. And over the years, I've been puzzled, what is wrong with us Israelis? Like, no one is no one aware of what is going on in Europe and on the potential, on the proximity, on things that you can do business-wise. And about 10 years ago, I discussed this issue. At the time, I would say 2% of the startups in Israel were going to Europe, 90% to the US, and the rest of the world. So I discussed this with a dear friend of mine called Axel. He's heading Hubraum, which is the Deutsche Telekom early-stage investment vehicle. And we devised a concept that will bring together the ecosystems in Israel and those in Europe. This concept is called Europe Days, and this is actually a platform, so we're just an enabler. And the idea is to bring together Israeli startups with investors, corporates, regions, cities in Europe in order to work together and make things happen together and fully deploy this untapped potential. Now, Europe Days over the past 8 years has helped over 1,200 startups to connect with around 100 investors, corporates, cities, regions, and we're all here today to move and push this needle even further. The macro level statistics for now are around 4 to 5% of Israeli startups are doing something with Europe. I mean Western Europe, okay, like EU plus Switzerland and the UK. And we see that in 2022, the total investments from Europe in Israel were about 10%, which is nice, it's improving. The average ticket size has increased by 55% over the past 4 years, and it's now $4.65 million per deal. So we see that traction is happening, the numbers are improving, but still there's a lot to do. And this is why we're here today. And the question is, where are the opportunities now? So if we take a look at Europe over the 2 years that have passed, we've seen a series of critical crises hitting Europe. It started with COVID, then followed by the war in the Ukraine, then followed by the energy crisis, and now joining the world with the global economic crisis. So crisis on one side, and who's an entrepreneur here? Raise your hands. Cool. What does crisis mean for you? Nice. Thank you. So these are the opportunities. So we see the digitization across the board. So I would say e-health, cybersecurity, Industry 4.0, fintech, insurtech, everything is being impacted by the need to digitize, to be more efficient. And these are all the topics we will discuss here today, either on the stage or following on the roundtables and one-on-one meetings afterwards. And the equation is very simple. It's 1 + 1 equals, I have a 3. Whatever the accounts say. Okay, 3 is the winner, to the gentleman in the front. And on one side, we have the corporates and very established economies of Europe that are really experts in taking beginning innovation, technology, service, and scaling it globally, finalizing the product, and then really taking it worldwide. Distribution, sales, support, customer relations, really on a global scale. Compliance, which we will discuss, and regulation. They can really do all of that relatively easy, much more easier than an Israeli startup based in Nest Ziona or alike, okay? No disrespect to this Nest Ziona. On the startup side, we have you guys doing amazing innovation, solving problems in really new ways that are extremely useful to the whole world. We're reaching the point of product, initial proof of concept, because we got like 1 million users on a B2C case. We got maybe 20 clients just to validate the business model, but what happens next, okay? And the next is your European partner. So this is the 1 and 1 = 3, and I wish you good luck in making this happen and pushing the needle forward today. So much success. Thank you. I'd like to call my panelists, please. Karim, Revital, and Charm, please join me on stage. And while we do so, a little bit logistics about today. The morning all the way to around 2:30 is sessions on stage, including reverse pitches, meaning the corporates and the investors pitch you guys, the startups, and not the other way around. So whatever's happening on stage is really vital. Hi, good morning. Is vital information and super important for you to know. Then we will break out into round tables. Round tables means a sign, sector-specific sign, with anyone who wants to join sitting around. There's no actual table, just chairs. Sorry for that. And you have an opportunity to discuss with 1, 2, or 3 domain experts about what this domain is doing in Europe. It's an open conversation, Q&A, so feel free to have a discussion. Then, starting at 3:30, we have the one-on-one meetings. And in between, there are a lot of opportunities to network, exchange, drink beer, yes, real beer, German beer, and have a pretzel or 2. So that's about it. And yeah, let's start with the panel.